Don't hibernate on the Denver Broncos. It's just a fancy way of me saying don't sleep on the Denver Broncos, but I digress. The Denver Broncos, to me, are one of the most talented teams in the NFL in terms of their weapons. We've covered it. We have covered it. And I get there's a lot of Broncos fans they've been saying that for a long time too, but also they've stopped getting excited in my mind. I've seen a lot of the Broncos fans that I know, at least personally, they're just not excited because, what Drew Lock has done in his couple years in the NFL. Now, I understand, not being excited about quarterbacks. I mean, I went through Christian Ponder. I went through, even Joe Webb that weren't exciting, even though there were a lot that were. But there's a lot of other quarterbacks I can mention in that too. But for a guy that was drafted in the second round of the 2019 NFL draft, I think expectations are a little higher than where, a lot of people consider, him to be right now. But I'm here to tell you, do not sleep on the Denver Broncos. I think that's a big mistake. You talk about I get it. Philip Lindsay didn't like to see him go, but man, he's got to go out and get his dough. I totally understand that. One of the best young running backs that can do it all in the NFL. Boom, don't at me. Melvin Gordon. I've actually been impressed somewhat with Melvin Gordon. I think he has I don't think he's quite lived up to the way I think a lot of people thought he was going to be when he was coming out of Wisconsin. But I've got mad respect for the man and what he's been able to do in the NFL. And at the end of the day, he's a guy that, if we want to have debates, only one 1,000-yard season rushing to his name, and Philip Lindsay had a couple. Let's not get into it. But the point is this: I have a lot of respect for Melvin Gordon. You can also talk about Javonte Williams, Mike Boone. I watched him tear it up with the Vikings when he got his opportunities. Love Mike Boone. Special teams doesn't matter everywhere. Absolutely love Mike Boone. So I think that's a big pickup for the Broncos that nobody's talking about, and it's frustrating. You also talk about Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Noah Fant. The list goes on. This entire wide receiver and tight end class and group for the Denver Broncos is severely slept on. It is easily one of the best in the NFL with the right quarterback situation. And what I have to say about that, the whole situation between Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock is this. It's this. It doesn't take much for there to be a spark that ignites a team. What could I possibly be talking about? Oh, I don't know. A journeyman by the name of Case Keenum for the Vikings? Let's be real about something. What Case Keenum did with the Vikings a couple of years ago, I loved it. It was a Magic Carpet Ride season, a lot of fun, and it was just so fun. That's all you can really say about it. But after he threw 22 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions and ultimately lost in the NFC Championship game, not all on him, a lot on the defense. Man, it didn't take much to ignite that team. And what I have to say about the Denver Broncos quarterback situation is this. Even Brett Rippon, by the way, who was letting it rip sometimes in the NFL, by the way, little word pun, sorry. It doesn't take much. So all it takes is for Drew Lock to play like he's a second-round pick, which I think he can still do. All it takes is for Teddy Bridgewater to surprise some people, which I think he can also do. It doesn't take much for that confidence factor to get in and just absolutely start to it just doesn't take much. That's all you need to know. It just takes a spark. And I think with Teddy Bridgewater in the building, Drew Lock on the hot seat with a quarterback behind him that has experience, that has made it to play to a playoff game, that has had somewhat of success in the NFL, I think that is going to be enough to light that spark. Now, whether it's with Teddy Bridgewater playing or if it's with Drew Lock, there is a contingency backup plan, and I'm really excited. George Payton, I think, so far with what he's done, I've gotten a lot of respect for what this man has done in the NFL. But at the end of the day, I do think that there is still some things that they can do, which clearly I think they're going to continue to work on. But, again, I'm going to say it for the people in the back, it doesn't take much for an NFL team to get with it and start impressing people. Well, we can also talk about their offensive line, but I think it needs to come down to their weapons, their quarterback situation. Also, let's talk about their defense a little bit. I feel like people are forgetting the defense that the Denver Broncos boasts. Excuse me, Draymond Jones. I did a video about Draymond Jones. I think he is going to be a guy that is not only an impressive specimen, but if he continues to play like he did in his second year in the NFL, man, 6.5 sacks, 10 total sacks in his first couple of years in the NFL. Then separate from the fact that the Broncos have one of the best interior pressure guys in Shelby Harris that I think needs to be brought up more. Bradley Chubb is one of the best edge rushers in the NFL when he's healthy. I mean, this linebacker core is for real as well. Von Miller, you guys got Kyle Fuller, Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons. Oh, number 1 PFF rated safety before the season starts. Oh, you just love it. You love it. You love it. You love it. Ronald Darby also in there at corner. Oh, this defense is legit. All it takes is a spark. A little bit of a similarity. I believe the Vikings also had a top defense, and I think the Broncos are going to have a top defense. And the Vikings needed just a spark to ignite them, and I think that's what the Broncos have in the Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock situation. I think it doesn't take much. All it takes, I don't have anything to create a spark, but you guys get the point. Because I've said it enough. At the end of the day, they've got the offensive pieces in terms of their weapons, and I think their offensive line is respectable also as well. So, and also defense, boom, one of the best defensive in the NFL. They've got their guys on the field. No, not even a debate if you ask me. So at the end of the day, I think that it would be foolish to sleep on the Denver Broncos. So don't do it. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. Please also make sure to lightly touch that like button. Helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate that. Make sure you guys also give us a listen on iTunes and subscribe there as well. Check out our website at thesportsbriefpodcast.com. And in the description down below, you will find all of our links to all of our social media platforms. So make sure you give us a like and a follow on those as well. But with that, let's just all remember not to sleep on the Denver Broncos.